I love doing acrylic pouring. I got into this a couple of years ago while I was a leader for a Cub Scout troop. We were trying to find an idea that we could do with our 8 and 9-year-old boys, and while perusing Instagram we actually found paint pouring, and my brother and I decided, you know what, that's something we could do with the boys that would be really fun for them, and in the end really fun for us also. So we got a bunch of paint together, threw in some tablecloths on my basketball court, and made a glorious mess with those boys. And ever since then I have been infatuated with paint pouring. And it's fitting that today I get to do a patriotic themed pour. I was actually chatting with my friend Anna Blunt, and she challenged me to do a patriotic pour. So I've had this piece of wood that I bought at the local thrift store. It's Deseret Industries here in Utah, and I've wanted to paint out for a long time, and this is the perfect opportunity. I want to do a swipe. That's why I'm laying down this base color. This base color paint is 1 part Essentials from Walmart, 1 part of the Artist Loft Flow Acrylic, and 2 parts Floetrol. And then the paint that I'm going to swipe with is 1 part Winsor & Newton Galleria paint and 2 parts Floetrol. So right now I just want to get all this white paint on. We're going to give it a little bit of a tilt just to kind of even out where the paint is. May have to add a little bit more here. All right, so what I want to do, again, we're going to do a swipe. So I'm going to use these paper towels, dip them in my paints, and then just kind of swipe across. Hopefully I can get something like this to happen. There's some testing that I did. I'm looking for the blue to be like this and the red to be like this, but I'm going to try a few and see how it goes. My paint's a quick stir. For those of you that have been on my channel for a while, you know that I'm kind of a science geek, software developer by trade, and so painting never really was kind of in my wheelhouse, but this is a medium that I can totally do. I can create myself a recipe and follow a recipe and really get some pretty amazing results. And my channel here is just to help people do the same. I'm hoping that all these cells kind of pop up as we go. So if that's what you're interested in, these are the type of videos that are for you. As an added bonus, I have a bunch of family that are military men. My grandfather, excuse me, flew B-29 in World War II. My wife's father was in the Air Force for a long time. My brother-in-law was in the National Guard more recently. And really appreciate the holidays and the opportunity we get to celebrate. So the whole idea with this medium, or with the swipe here, is that the paints on top are a little bit denser, which means they're a little bit heavier than the paints on the bottom. And as I swipe this, those paints kind of fall through the other paints to create this cellular action. So this came out much different than I was anticipating. I was hoping I got lacing like that, but because I think the white paint wasn't very thick, the heavy paint on top really couldn't fall through. However, I really like how it came out. I did get a bunch of nice, beautiful cells, especially at the beginning of where I swiped. I cut the paper towels to be just the right size, so I had the 13 horizontal rows. I'm hoping that as it dries, we'll be able to see the relief of the stars and the stripes. Now that it's dry, you can see the relief of the stars and stripes. And the little mini swipes didn't get quite as much of the lacing and cell effect that I wanted, but they're beautiful. And I used little teeny tiny strips of paper towels to make my swipes. And my friend Anna Blunt did something very similar, but she used a whole sheet of plastic to do her swipe, so it's more uniform. And you'll definitely want to see that video here.